as Derek has said, hi team. You're way ahead of me, which is just fine. How's Derek? And whoever else is here. Welcome. I'm excited about today. I think we'll have some fun. I need to figure out how we're going to actually do some of this, but that's okay. It's fairly minor. Hi, Carol. Welcome. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, Carol. Maybe that's just me. I'm doing well. Getting stuff figured out on all the septic stuff I got to do for the house. But we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. I got my quotes in finally. So, but yeah. So that means we're chipping away, moving forward. One bit at a time. Technically, it's 2 weeks from today that we will close on the house. We'll see if we actually come through on that. I don't know why you'd be so busy, Carol. Tax season's over, right? Over. You got all the folks like me who are showing up late and such. It's the way it goes, right? Blake, welcome. Blake, I've been thinking about your thing about coming on at some point, and I don't have an answer at the moment, but I'm curious to make something happen. Just not certain what that is quite yet. So let me process a little bit longer. But I haven't forgotten about it. It's on a list, so I've been thinking. Think, as Pooh Bear would say. You don't even do taxes? That's fascinating. So you've been crazy busy and you haven't even done taxes. You're not a tax doer. Okay. Tax doer? That's a technical term. Tax doer. Jump right on that one. I've been playing with Alfred a decent amount, and I have some stuff done to it as far as prepping it, which is right here at the moment. And I put my spot monitor up here so I can actually make sure I do switch over appropriately. So I have that all prepped. I've been building some stuff in it, grabbed some snippet packs from some other folks, and am slowly getting my head around how I want this to work. And as much as I don't like the migration process, I think that going through this is going to help a lot, because just a little bit, and I'll show you what I've done with like the snippet workflows and such. I'm realizing like the territory that TextExpander works within is like here. And although Alfred's is a little bit more difficult to build, like let's say TextExpander is somewhere right here, okay? And although Alfred's like actual snippet feature is like actually a little bit smaller, when you take the workflow piece, it like expands it way out. So then the feature set that I'm finding in building into Alfred here is actually very, very wide. And I was not expecting that. Started to combine that alongside all the other workflows and the other functions that are built into Alfred, and I'm realizing like there's a ton. There's a ton. If you start using like this as a central tool, I could easily see this being like a go-to tool for me. Not that it wasn't already, but like from a snippet stance and a text expansion stance, it seems like it can be a big deal. So we'll see. And apologies if I have to pause once in a while, because I've got these septic bids back, so I'm like trying to get all the things in place, because again, I got 2 weeks to get this nailed down. So there's that. Yes. Okay. Where am I here? Yes. House stuff. There's that. Still don't have an answer on internet there, though. Shall we jump into this? because I feel like I'm itching to get into this. So here's what I have right now, all right? And I think this is going to be how I build things just in general, as far as like how I'm going to go run my own fiber. As far as how I go about doing this, I think this is going to be my path. And what I have here, and I know that there's going to be some of what I want to move that I'm not going to be able to move from TextExpander here, just because things like email and demographics and stuff is fairly obviously sensitive. So I'm going to keep this window over here while we're doing this, and I'll bring it over as I need. Sound fair? But the first of these that I want to bring over, which I think will be like this could take a very long time, and that's why I wanted to just like we could just hang out, and I'm gonna just work on this, and if you have questions, hit me up in the chat and I will do my best to get those answered. But let me just kind of walk you through what I have in Alfred so far, because there are potentially a lot of things, because yes. All right, so obviously CLI, this is command line interface. I have a tendency in TextExpander to put in a lot of snippets that make it easier for me to remember and pull up certain bits of code. I don't think there's anything sensitive in this. Here's what this looks like. And this is kind of what it is. It's not huge, but it's super helpful. A lot of times what I have done in the past is like, for example, doing discourse development. I was building new discourse servers so often that I TextExpanded my commands to build a new discourse. And you can see these, and I probably shouldn't show these, but this install discourse actually runs some of the other snippets here as well. It would like go through the entire server setup process just by concatenating commands and stuff. You moved from TextExpander to Keyboard Maestro? Yeah, last week I talked about like all the different tools that were possibilities and actually worked through my own process. I didn't know what I was going to pick last week, and if you want to see me process live how I came up to the decision, you can go watch that one as well. Also, before we get too far, you know, if you're willing, go ahead and hit the like button. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. Helps me out tremendously. I'm in the process of building this channel, and if this continues to go well, it'll be done more frequently. So I've been slowly pinpointing the specific things I'm going to be doing online in the long term, and this is one that I want to focus on. So that helps out tremendously. So if you can, like, subscribe, bell, all the things. Appreciate that. Why not automate as much as possible? I mean, it makes sense, right? So when I was building all these discourse instances, it was fairly common for me to want to run all of these commands to build the server, to install discourse, Docker, all the things, and then I would have it do unattended upgrades, which you can see at the bottom right here. So I would do that as well. And that actually helped me out tremendously. So it would just buckle a bunch of these things together, made life easy. So anyway, that's the CLI stuff. That I will need to move over into here, because currently I have this one completely empty, right? And that's fine. You know, I'll move those over bit by bit, but that's where I'm going to put the CLI. This one is new, actually. I didn't have this in TextExpander, and I'm planning to build this one out a little bit because I realize that I'm very frequently using these colors, and I regularly want these hex codes for colors for my personal brand, for Analog Joe, etc., etc. And I just decided I'm going to start dumping these in here. I feel like it would be super helpful to have them, you know, here to make my life easier. So I'm doing them as I need them because I know how to hunt them down, but I haven't hunted them all down yet. The one thing, Martin has a good point here. This does not work well on anything mobile. This is Mac only. So if you're doing text expansion and it is on Mac and nothing else, this is the system that I'm using. And I realized, and I actually struggled with that decision a little bit when I first started. I was like, Joe, what are you doing? Like, that doesn't make sense. And what I realized is I never pull up TextExpander on my phone. I just punched the desk, and that hurt. Ow. I'm not going to be a wimp, promise. So anyway, just punching the desk, not a recommended thing. So I'm not one that's going to use it on mobile. I have just decided that. Espanso works on all of them. Martin, don't do this to me. What is it? Espanso? I don't even think I looked at this one. Cross-platform text expander written in Rust. I was feeling so good, too. Smarter typing, shell support, custom scripts, code snippets, date support, emoji support. It's open source? Martin, why are you doing this to me? How much is it? Packages. Oh, that's not even... Is this free? If it's open source, I suppose. It's got a donate button. You were on holiday? That's not an excuse. I went back here. Okay. Anybody else use this? This is new to me. Matches, forms. What's the thing look like? What? Huh. This looks like a developer's version of TextExpander. Do you do this all in just YAML files? Is that how this works? I feel like that could drive me nuts, though. It's totally a squirrel. Undo backspace. So this is legit. It's all command line use and setup. Is that what I'm seeing? Because you're building a YAML file of all of the triggers and replacements. Huh. So how do I... Is this like crazy ridiculous to do? I don't think I'm gonna like this. Here's why. Why I think. Using with script and shell extensions. Name, reverse, type, shell. How is factoring Alfred into the overall? Yes. Yeah, so if I've got to go in and add it to the file, yeah, I don't think this is going to fly. Here's why. Okay, so here, let me go, okay, the color thing. Next one down, this will make more sense. This is one of the things that I learned whenever I was like running through all of these and was deciding which of these tools to go with. There's one little feature here that Alfred does that I was just like, whoa, that. Those of you who were there know what I'm talking about. So dates, you notice it says 6 snippets right here. Prefix D, D dot, D period. That's what that is. If I double click that, you'll see this affix D period. That means that if I were to make this dead dot period, look at this right here. It reconfigures them all. That to me is genius, because if I ever run into a scenario where my prefix on those is actually creating problems, which does happen occasionally, I start typing something new that I hadn't typed before and it's expanding and I don't want it to, I will go in and change what this prefix is to be a little bit more specific. But that would be a pain if I had things spread out across files. And being able to just drop it in once is like genius to me. So I don't think I'm going to give that up just so that I could put it on like my Linux box that's over here as my monitoring machine. So I don't think I'm going to do that. It's a cool idea, but you got me to stop and consider though. And the website was done well enough that it really made me whoa, wait a second. What am I doing? Okay, so dates. This is one that you can see that I've got built out a little bit. Part of the problem I was running into with TextExpander is that you can't just copy paste anything over on these, so I had to like rebuild them. And this is where I started to need workflows to make this work. And I'm going to come back to the workflow snippet thing here in a bit, because this is where I started to dive into it, and it got actually a lot easier whenever I started using the Alfred workflows over the way that TextExpander made me do it. So that said, here's one I downloaded from online, and I haven't used it a whole lot, but it is like that's amazing to me. It is Emojis. And it has the colon and then the thing and then the colon so that it'll expand, which like that is the same naming that I've seen like in Discourse or Twitter, or I think Reddit does it now too, but that makes it super easy to drop those in. I haven't run into a case where I'm trying to use that to drop in an emoji in a place that does this type of thing on top of it. So if I were to try to do this in Discourse, what would it do? I don't know the answer to that. Should we find out? No, I'll come back to it. Maybe. Anyway, emojis are in there. I also ran across this for funny quotes. I suppose you can read some of them there. So I've just got the prefix to FQ, so funny quote dot and then a word. So FQ dot whoosh. I love deadlines. I like the whooshing sound they make as they fly by. Douglas Adams. There was one of them here. Yes, to err is human. To blame it on somebody else shows management potential. It's a solid. So anyway, I thought those were funny. These are links that I use all the time, and I will build these out. If we get time, I'll start in on these too, but these are the links I use a lot, and this is how I prefix those. Link dot whatever, and it takes me where I need to go. H refers to home, if you can read that. This is one that I brought over, and did I bring this over? No, I found this one and dropped it in. Who was it? Does it show? No, it doesn't show that there. I don't know why, but I tend to use these things a lot. Michael, welcome. I tend to use these things a lot, and I don't know why that is, but I do. And it's super, super helpful to just be able to do like character dot page down, and it'll give me the page down indicator. Probably the ones that I use the most are like command control option shift delete. Those are the ones that I tend to caps lock. I'll use those quite a bit just because it makes it a lot easier to put in the symbols in a lot of cases as opposed to trying to type it out and explain it. People know what you're talking about. Months, as weird as this is, I use this a ridiculous amount. I probably shouldn't. But there are a lot of cases when I want to make sure that I am typing things correctly, and I don't want to misspell simple things like January. So I just have these M dots and then the number of the month, and it drops in the name for me. Super, super lazy. This is one I use a lot. The names And again, I've only just started dropping these in. I have way, way, way more of these than what you're seeing here. But this is... I just realized I wasn't recording. This is what... Is this going to go? Oh, that's why it's not recording. I didn't give it a thumb drive. Yes, Wednesday is genius for this. 1 second. No wonder it wasn't recording. I didn't give it the thing to tell it to record. There it goes. Sometimes Joe is dumb. I even have it on the list to hit the record button and didn't do it. I will double check it next time. I'll add a spot to the checklist. Got it. Okay. Yeah, the names thing is one that I will build out over time. Starts over time. Hi, team. Yeah, absolutely. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. Oh, the week name thing, though, Blake. I have had that before. What was I doing? It was like week dot 0 through 6 is what I would do. And that's what I was doing. I have been, good question, Ricky. I have been manually moving them over. I don't know if there's an automated way. I'm not sure I would want an automated way because I've kind of been using this as how do I say that? As a way to discern which ones I'm actually going to keep, but also to remind me of what is in there. Because I have dropped so much stuff into TextExpander over time that I just want to put it all in here by hand to get things that I want in here and to know what is in there. There's an import script, but it has not worked well. Good to know. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Nunday. That's the way my Bujo would go. Nice. Last one here is phone. PH dots, whatever I put after the end of it. I won't show it to you because it's actually got my phone number in there. But that's why I say some of this stuff is sensitive. Okay, so that's just the blanket snippets that I have moved over here for now. But there's another set, and this is one of the complaints I have with the way that Alfred does this, because I really wanted to be able to just have a list here and then have a snippet, like instead of having it expand, just tell it what workflow to run whenever I type that in. But they don't have it that way. And I want to send in a request to them because I feel like this could be really helpful for them to do something like that, but they don't have it that way. Instead, what I have to do is I have to go up here to workflows, and then these are some of the workflows that I have in here, and I've dropped some of these in as well, which are kind of helpful. But these last 4 are the ones that are of interest. Now, if I go back over to here, the one that's of interest that I want to take you through, well, let's start with dates, because I have a bunch more of these, namely, what is it, 14 more, I think, at least 14, that I use on top of this bank. Okay, so these are just like the time right now, and you can see the formatting I have on these. But if we go to workflows and go to dates, okay, now this looks intense, right? Yeah, he missed Nunday. He only got some of them. So these, as you can see here, d.nm, d.nt, these follow some of what Blake's referring to with those first letters. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can see that bank right here. Okay, see that? Date is my d dot. In refers to next. And then the M is the letter. So date.next Monday, okay, would be this one. It goes into this, which is just text. It just says Monday. If I were to go into the next one, it just says Tuesday. And it takes those, they follow all the way down, and they go into this Apple script. If I go into here, this is what that looks like. This is actually copy pasted from TextExpander. And I brought that over, and all it does is take, you notice this Q up here? It's just taking whatever I drop into it and then running the script with whatever I send into it. So that's where these date names are sent into the Apple script, and then it figures out what the next date for that day is, and it will drop it into my clipboard, but it will also paste it wherever I'm at with this. Automatically paste to frontmost item with whatever it kicks back. And I can alter that a little bit if I wanted to. Now, just as an example, let me show you these. All right, so welcome to drafts. So date dot today, okay? That's just one of the standard ones. Now, let's do date dot tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow is Tuesday, right? So if I did date dot next T for Tuesday, tomorrow is the next Tuesday. But if I were to say date dot next Sunday, it will calculate whatever the date is for that next day. So it's pretty common for me to do this, and it's like, I don't know what the date is, but I know that it's next Friday. Okay, well, that's the 18th. So it's 2021-06-18. If I take that, there's also a d.d in F, and that's next Friday in a dashed format. And if I were to look back here, I have another one that's dashed dates. And the only difference in this, it's all identical except the formatting in here for how it kicks out that date. But this is very similar to what I had to do in TextExpander. In TextExpander, I had to write scripts for it to make all these happen. And it was just that script repeated multiple times. But the thing I like about this is I can use the same script over and over and over again, alter the script once if I have to. You got to go out? All right, see you, Martin. Thanks for sticking around. I can share these. Yeah, this is fine. The thing I don't like about this is, like, okay, for example, these are date dashes for next whatever. The ones down below here are dashed for last, so it goes back the other way as well. So, for example, the 6/18, pardon me, is next Friday. I could also do dash last Friday, and it would go the other way. So it goes backwards. But yeah, I can share this. I don't think it's that hard. How do I do that? Export? What does this do? Version 0.1. What's it do when I do this? Snippets, dashed, dates. I'll share. Fine by me. Do I have... I don't think I have a GitHub repo for this. Thinking about what I got in there. I better not do that. Let me see if I've got a repo for it. I don't think I have a repo for like Alfred stuff. I created one for Obsidian where I have my Obsidian stuff in it. That's right here. So anyway, I can share that. But there's two versions. One is with this dashed, and then this one is just the same thing. It's date for next, date last, but it doesn't have the D in front of it. Now, the thing that I don't like about this, if I go to one of these snippet triggers here, here's what I really wish it would do. Okay, so the keyword is d.nm, so date for next Monday. There's a shared prefix and suffix here. I can put in something there, like the D dot. I could put something in there. The bell. But it crosses workflows. I really, really, really wanted it to be just within this one workflow. But if I were to edit, like for example, if I were to put hello here, you notice it puts hello D in front of all of those. But if I were to go to this dashed one, it puts it there too. And I don't want that. I just want it to be within that one workflow, because see, now it's going to change it here too. And I don't like that. I wish it would stick to just that one workflow. I'm not sure why it has to be universal like that. I think they're assuming you're going to build one workflow for all your snippet workflows, but that's not the way I work. So that's another piece I need to let them know about. So those are the dates. There's one in particular here. Let me show you this one, and then I'll show you what I'm doing with the CLI piece, because this is, it looks simple, but it's it's kind of fun. So it starts off like the others, right? D.tz, that's just time zone is all that refers to for me. And then it gives me this list, and this is in military time. Blake, you'll appreciate that. And whenever I run this, it will ask me to choose one of these or type in my own, okay? So I can either pick one from this list, and I put 13 at the top because 1 o'clock is my most commonly used time for this. So it shows me these options, and then it goes in here and runs this script based on that. And in this case, it's JavaScript. This will look familiar. So you guys, have you seen the, like whenever I post something and it's got the times and it's got the flags and stuff next to it? I don't create that by hand because it's an absolute pain to figure out all the time zones that I got to have for that. So I just wrote this script that does it all for me based on where I want it to be. And it creates it and kicks it out. And then it does the same thing, pastes it based on where I want it to be. So if I go back into here, d.tz, oh, it's gonna show up on the other screen. Can you make Alfred show up on whatever the focus screen is? I don't see it. Da, 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 da. All right, let's do this. Okay, so here's this. I think I can drag this over. Nope, it's not. Oh, there it goes. Now you can't see this very well because I keep it black, but you can see the blinking cursor. D.tz. See that? Actually, I need to go here. Okay, and then it pops up like this, and you can see it's got 13 selected, but I can arrow up and down and then hit enter. If I hit enter, magic. And so just as an example, let's say I set it to 16. It moves everything 3 hours back from that. That's how I do that, if you've ever seen me do those. It's kind of fun. Now, another one I do here is this cl.gc. And I have this down because I know I'm going to have more of these. But it's the same thing, cl.gc. All this one does is it just asks for a keyword, and it's requiring it. So I have to type something in. And once it does that, this is what it kicks out. And that's actually a command I use all the time whenever I'm committing to a Git repository to add everything, commit it, and push it, which is a little dangerous to use when you're doing it regularly. So here's an example of what that looks like. If I do cl.gc, hello world, and it'll kick that out, and then I can hit enter in the terminal, and it will run that command. Great fun, huh? That's what I have so far in Alfred. And again, I have a lot of things yet in TextExpander that need moved over. Mountain time is less than useful. Okay, let me look through. I need to look through all the date stuff. So this is what I was doing. That one I just had d.1 p.m. But that one doesn't actually work because when daylight saving stuff moves, everything falls apart. It's a mess. These are my dashes, and you notice these are all the same. The only difference is what day is in there, which less than ideal. Today's date with dashes, date and time with dashes, the full dates, which I like never use, full time, which I never use. Those are those last ones. These are all those month ones that I converted. Next, coming up ones. This is something, okay, so I used to do, you can define the screen on which Alfred shows up. Appearance options. Appearance. Okay. Wait. Appearance options. Oh, it's down here. That was way down there. Hide hat. How do I tell it to show up on whatever the focus screen is? Makes Alfred operate like an app and takes focus when shown. What is it? Show Alfred on. I don't even see that. Oh, there it is. What do I want? Mouse screen or active screen? I'm gonna say active. That's what makes more sense to me. Okay, so if I highlight over here, it's on that side. If I highlight over here, Derek, you're a magician. I thought there would be something like that. I like that too, because I'm always like having to look back and forth when I've got things where I want them. What was I doing? TextExpander? Yeah, this. This %month_day was doing some stuff with these to get my daily template in Obsidian built. That's what I was doing there, and it worked pretty well. I can't say I was upset with that by any means, but it did work well. So, yes, that's what I know. These are standards, today's date, today's name, which I found, like, this is why I wanted to go through these, because whenever I saw this one, when I was running through, I was like, I've never used that. It was a fun idea when I built it, but I've never used it. This is that time zone thing I was telling you about. I used to use that. This is actually one of the reasons I was working towards getting off of TextExpander, because it just wouldn't work sometimes. I could run this, and it was forcing me to bring TextExpander to the forefront, like to give it focus so that I could see the pop-up dialog in order to enter it in, what number I wanted, and have it fill in. Alfred, I don't have that problem. It just shows up. I've never had an issue with it. Week of the year. These were those days. Now, I have these as date.week and then whatever it is, the first letter. That's probably what I should keep. That's probably one I should bring over. Can I get away with W dot? Now here's the problem with doing this. If you mistype it here, you're mistyping it always. Always, 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 always. Nope, I did that wrong. And this is the other thing I don't like, is this takes a while to do this, bit by bit. Also, I don't think I talk about this much, but one thing that I tend to love I'm not going to be able to get this up on screen very well, but I have one of these Razer Death Adder mice, and it has side buttons to it, which means that whenever I highlight something like this, there's 2 buttons on the side, and I have one of them set for copy and the other one set for paste. So I can click a button on the side of my mouse and it's just copy paste. Oh, it's so fast. That has saved me so much time. I absolutely love that little feature. It's hard when I forget to do the copy thing. All right, there we go. I don't know how often I'll use that, but it's nice to have it in there, though. So, okay, that's those. Yesterday is on there. All right, let me close this one. Demographics and email, I know I shouldn't open. Emoticons. I don't really use these at all, but they're funny. I used to put this one into chats once in a while, the flip the table thing. Those used to be a thing I did a lot, but I just don't anymore. Better not. I know there's some numbers in there. Now this is interesting because I forgot that I had these, and it's a cool idea, but I just forget to use them. These are includes for my blog, so Jekyll, and how I have that all built, because it could be helpful, but I'm just not going to move them. If I decide I want them, I will. Lipsomes, these I know I use. So let's move these, and they'll be fun. These are mostly going to be copy paste, just because. So here's a new group, Lipsomes, lip dot. I wish I could double click this. I know, it's a good one, Blake. Let's see. What did I call this? And I tend to just do it like that. These are, it amazes me how much I use these things. Did I use a dash or did I use a comma? Dash. No, I used a comma. I don't want it to use a comma. But it is super helpful. Like whenever I was again doing all the discourse development stuff, I would have to like test things regularly, and I always needed to dump things into them. Okay, but those are kind of your blank ones. Like I shouldn't say blank. Your standard. I'm just gonna start calling them 1. This is a fun one. Marshmallow, tiramisu, candy, donut, tart, sweet biscuit, lemon drops, jelly beans, souffle, fruitcake, pie muffin, jelly-o, cotton candy gummies, carrot cake, macaroon, apple pie, tiramisu, apple pie topping marzipan. Anybody hungry? I love these. These are fun. I use these so much. And I have different lengths, and I actually generated these slightly different. So they're, like that one's, yeah, it's got a different first paragraph too. Sorry, Carol. I want to get rid of this para on these. But I love these little cake deals. I've got another one that's fun too. But yeah, that's a fun one. All these cake ones. What's the other one I have here? I don't think that one works. There's one for like an IMDb database, but I haven't seen that one actually work in a long time because the source for it broke. All right, here you go. This is a good one. Star Wars. Obi-Wan is here. The Force is with him. You mean it controls your actions? Alderaan? I'm not going to Alderaan. I've got to go home. It's late. I'm in for it as it is. What? Hey, Luke. May the Force be with you. These are fun ones. Yes. These were the ones that I would frequently use when I had a tech group that I was doing work with and wanted to just fill it in quickly. And they're like, whoa, what was that? Obi-Wan, I love that. So it's very fun. Very fun. All right, that's the Ipsomes that I needed to get over. Markdown. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. This one's going to be a little more involved. And I do use, these first two, I use fairly regularly. But what they do is they take whatever the current tabs are in Safari, and it takes all of them on the most active window for the first window, and it creates a markdown list of all those links. Okay, so let's get this transferred over, and in this case this is an Apple script, so I actually cannot run this from their normal snippet section, so I have to do this as a snippet workflow. I just want a blank one. You can see I still use those even within... That's the other thing. Like, I couldn't use snippets within TextExpander, but I can here. Okay, so I want a snippet trigger. What is this? Markdown dot all tabs? Yeah, I think that's what I want it to be. What was it? Yeah, all tabs. Yeah, and I'm not going to use any of those. Okay, so Markdown all tabs. And then I want it to run an Apple script. Yep. I want my script in the middle there. Okay. Save that. And then I want an output of copy to clipboard. Automatically paste. Save. Okay. Now, let's see. What do I have in Safari? Is this going to be an issue? No, it's not. Okay, so let's go back here. If I do md dot all tabs, there you go. That's what it does. It's pretty slick. I use that one more than I think I will in most cases. This is super, super helpful whenever you do things like show notes, because you can listen to whatever you're editing and just open a new Safari window and just pull up the links you want, and then you get them all in the order you want, and it will just dump them in here, which is nice. The one that's going to be, I think, a little more difficult here is what? Cur tab. I don't want that. I always think I want that. Because this takes only the current tab. The same thing, but just only the current tab. But I think with this one... Oh no, those are using other snippets. What are those? Link.title and link.cur. Oh, those are doing the same thing. What's the title one look like? The name. Let's copy this. Wait, what is this one doing? It's repeating. Oh, it's going to every tab. Set the name. That's the name one. I want the link. Cur. Oh, that one's grabbing both. It's just returning the one. That's interesting. So I had an issue with that. You need all the tabs for when you're doing random research and want to close them all. Yeah, I don't know if the tabs group thing would solve that. I'm really interested in like the do not disturb modes. Like that's the part that I think would be really interesting. All right, I want this to return how does this work? My brain stopped working. How do I have it here? Set links to links and that's what it is. So I got to use the and then return it. And the name. Watch, I'll break it. Okay. So that should give me just the current. And the nice thing about this is I can buckle it into that and they can run separately. Let's see what that gives me. Sweet. It works. A solid update without going too crazy. The new Mac system. I could see it. Am I being anal? Anyway, that's okay. So that's all tabs and cur tabs. Let's look at what else I have under Markdown. All tabs, got that. Markdown image, I don't think I've ever used that. Reddit link, nope. Scrum call, Scrum planning, haven't used this stuff in a long time. These I use a lot. That much I know. Okay, now, how do I build this? How do I build this? Well, let's start here. So the problem I have here for fixing those, oh, the order like this, yeah, it really bothers me. You should try to like get this to line up, because when you put these things in there, they're just all over. It's less than fun. Just saying. Okay, so whenever I have these 6 here, no, I don't use all of them. Let's look at this one because it's the most common I have. Oh wait, that's not even the one I used. Blog post. Yeah, this one. There are 3 snippets that are embedded inside of this. A snap grid would help me a lot. One is the clipboard. One is the date and time current, like the date and current time in a dash format. And then it uses a slug that I generate based on the clipboard. So this YAML slug that you see here which is right here and right here. That is this. So that is a JavaScript thing that's running that I'll need to replicate. And this is where like trying to do a migration in is just not going to work well, because it would just take whatever I've got in the JavaScript in and just dump it into Alfred, and it wouldn't work if I did that. Can I embed other things? Well, I don't even know if I want to embed it. Okay. Well, the important thing here is this. The other two pieces are merely transforming things. So let's do this, because this needs to be a different thing. This is all YAML stuff. Wait, I think I have. Haha. Might as well use the thing I have, right? Okay, so this one needs to be YAML.slug, because I'm creating the slug. I need to run. Well, here, hold on. I don't think that's what I want. Basically, I've got to get the clipboard into it. Argument and variables. I think there is. Yes, here we go. There are some dynamic ones like that. Okay, so that gives me the clipboard. And then I need to run an Apple script on it. Am I boring you guys with this? Wait, hold on. That's an actual Apple script, and I don't want that. Is it just run script? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, and this will be the query. So that's what comes into it. And then it's splitting it on the spaces and then joining it back in. That kind of bugged me. Okay. And then it's going to return it. And then I need to do the clipboard thing. Okay. So, just so you can see how this works, and we'll see if I actually got it right or not. Okay, so here's the point. Whenever you create a slug out of some text, right? You don't want commas or spaces or, you know, parentheses of any kind. So if I do any of this, right? I don't want that. If I do any of that, this should strip all those pieces out. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. YAML.slug. Nope, didn't work. It left it the same. Now, why did it leave it the same? You're not good at this stuff? Oh, it's returning the query. I don't want it to return the query. I want to return new text. That's the problem. All right, let's try this again. Well, well, it returned new text. But not what I wanted. I'm pretty sure I did that right, though. Here, let's just do this. Let's just give it the straight up command. Oh, wait. No, wait. It did do it right. Because I had copied new text. There we go. Now, it's got that on the end. I suppose I normally wouldn't have this on the end of it. Let me grab that and just dump it in here a few places. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. Yeah. And this is fine when it does this. So there's a character of some sort in there that's throwing it, which is fine because I normally wouldn't do stuff like that. But the other kicker is it's still all uppercase and I want it all lowercase. Is there transform? Yeah, here we go. Sweet. Perfect. All right, let's see what we get now. Let me get me, well, here. Lip dot Star Wars 1. There you go. Let's say that's the title of my blog post that I'm working with. Okay. And I need the slug. I want to create a slug for it. Bingo. That's what I want. So then in my systems, what it would actually do is give me something like that. That's how I create those. But I need it to be super fast like that. Otherwise, I don't do it. So that gives me my slug. Now, what I don't know if I have, well, no, wait, hold on. How did I do this? I think I have it as YAML. Yeah. Let me copy this. We'll just start, see where we get. But it would have to go here. So YAML.blog. Now, just so you're aware, like whenever I do this, let me get one of these up. I'll show this to you. This is what I'm talking about. All right. So here is that post that I wrote using an Elgato Stream Deck with OmniFocus. This is that whole post that I wrote. This is what it looks like on the back end. This is how I write it. The part that I'm interested in is this right here. Okay? So this right here is the part that I'm trying to generate very quickly. So I need it to take whatever the clipboard is. Okay? I'm messing this up because it's not made to do that. But come on. Force it. I need it to create that for me. And that's fine, but I don't know how to make it do that. Because I can't just, I don't think I can just give it text. Oh, wait. Yeah, I can. Because I do it in here. I don't want that. Let's grab this one because it's clean. And then this would be the clipboard. I don't think, wait, no, I can do a date inside of there. Oh. We're just going to do this for now. I tend to like fill this stuff in. But here's what I don't know. How do I tell it to insert another workflow? There's a snippet placeholder, but let's see. Nope, not what I wanted you to do. I don't know if that's going to work the way I want it to, though. Dates. It might. That might not even require me to do anything with it. All right, so let's say I copy that. Yeah, that's what I thought it would do. It just dropped this in. I don't know how to do that. How do you do this? Nested workflows. External triggers? What are external triggers? Apple script? Okay. That's the identifier. Tell it to run trigger in workflow with argument test. I don't think that's what I want. I'm about to look into that one. I don't know how that's going to work. But you get the idea here. You can see how I'm starting to build this stuff out. I think I'm boring people. Sorry, team. But this is what I got to figure out. It's like, how do I nest this? I'll do some research. Are we having fun today? Oh, I gotta stand up. Oh, that was way too high. You're Googling along with me? Do you get an answer? Because I don't think I have an answer on it. Somehow I have to nest a snippet. Nested snippets. Snippets within snippets. In a standard snippet, you can use dynamic content, which could include dynamically inserting clipboard content or date and time. For something more advanced, you'd be better off using a snippet trigger object. You can use the snippet trigger object to trigger a workflow where you can add any number of pop-up prompts or scripts to add further text. But I'm trying to do a, like, what is it called? It's a dry system, so I'm not repeating what I'm doing. Yeah, like what he's doing here. This. You have a ticket to look exactly this for a future release. Did it ever get released, though? This is from 2019. Just to let you know, Alfred 4.1 will be getting snippet placeholder to nest a snippet. Okay. So then how do I... Snippets can now embed other snippets using the snippets placeholder. Placeholder works in all expected places. For example, the copy to clipboard workflow output object. It's only one level deep. Okay, supposedly this will work. Okay, if you're still with me. But I don't think it worked when I did it. Plain. I mean, it got the clipboard and date. Do I still have that? Here, bring that to the forefront. Yeah, it doesn't do it. It does it on some of them, but not that one. I wonder if... Let's do this. Just for... I wonder if the period is throwing it. What did I have? Nope, that wasn't it. Don't know the answer to this one. Because it seems like it's supposed to work. Am I on 4.1? Where does it even tell me? I know you can't connect the server, but... Oh, I'm on 4.3.4. Is there more to it? You need to set keywords for the snippet triggers, as these are stripped from the workflow to avoid clashing with your own. We'll look at this one in a second. The snippets manager doesn't really connect to the workflow snippet triggers. That's what I was talking about. That there is what I was fighting with earlier. Okay, so, all right. Non-text, earnings, free text. Show me the hard stuff. This is some of what I did earlier, but that's not showing me. Let's look at these dynamic placeholders. Snippets. You can insert the content of your snippets using the snippet placeholder. Oh, you know what? I bet that doesn't work. I bet it doesn't work with a workflow snippet. I bet it's only... I bet that only works with like an actual legit snippet. So what I mean by that is it wouldn't work with these, but it would work with these. Should we test it? So if I go into this and instead of doing YAML slug, I do link.h. Well, first off. Because it expands it when you put it in. So it's a little tricky to do that. Okay. Yeah. That worked. So it has to do with... Oh, okay. All right. So if you follow me, like I can nest a snippet. That will work. But I'm not nesting a snippet. I'm nesting a workflow within another workflow based on a snippet. So what I actually want is not a nested snippet, but rather a nested workflow, right? Derek, are you still with me? Calling workflow from another workflow. Is this what I was looking at earlier? To search. You're here. Did you find anything on this? And I gotta go soon. So at some point I have to stop. You can include the other workflow scripts in your collective workflow, but one workflow cannot call the other. But that's from 2014. Workflow object. You're a step behind me. That's okay. That means at some point you'll leapfrog in front of me. Okay. I wonder... Let me just start at the basics here. What are workflows? Not what I want. Objects. Activate it from hotkey. Keywords, once you're into it. Actions, utilities, outputs. Yep, that's fine. Variables. Object inbound configuration. What is that? To set an external identifier directly on a workflow object. That's what I've been doing. Just out of... You think call external trigger will play into it? Well, let's do this. Let's just set this as its own thing. Let's find out. And I don't want any of this. So what I actually want here is a snippet trigger. Back where I was. Not bulg, it's blog. Oh wait, no. We decided this external was going to play into it. Slug. Okay, so what is this doing? So it's telling Alfred to run that other workflow with the argument test. It's going to run it inside of the one I have with an argument called test. Okay. But I can't tie these together. They're both coming to the output here. I suppose. Well, no, that won't work. How do you tell it to run that? Maybe I'm missing something here. Tell me about external triggers. All right, how does this work? External access to specified points throughout your workflow. Can be accessed externally or within a workflow. If you'd like to integrate workflows into your scripting outside of Alfred, and can also provide a way of calling between workflows. It is now also possible to add an external identifier. We already got that. Once you've added an external trigger object to your workflow, double-click it to show the drop-down sheet. Enter the identifier used to identify it. Oh, wait. Okay. I think I got something, Derek. So instead of using this in here, what I actually want is that code. And then from there, we're going to run that script here. So it's going to run slug with whatever I pass into it. So instead of test, let's give it Q, because that's what's coming into this. Okay. Actually, let's not do that. Let's grab, where did I see it? How did I do the argon vars? What did I do? What was this? Oh, it was just an argument. That's what it was. Utilities, argon vars. So I'm going to send the clipboard into it. Okay. Once I have that, so I've got the clipboard, it can go into here. Okay. But I think I've got a couple different paths here. I think I want... because I want to hold on to this. I don't want this. Okay. So if I do that, actually, let's do this. I'm gonna leave that blank. So I'm gonna get rid of this. This will... how do I do that? There's another way to do it. If it's JavaScript, then I want that. But I don't think I have this one as JavaScript. This is just a straight up. Well, let's find out. Let's debug it. See what we get. All right. Unable to find trigger ID, com, Joe Bulig, YAML slug. In workflow, com, Joe Bulig, YAML blog. Well, don't look there. Okay. Well, this is fun. Let's see. Does this need an identifier? It's looking in the wrong spot, though. YAML slug in workflow. This is wrong. And that's not the right trigger either. YAML.slug in that workflow. Can't find ID, YAML.slug in workflow. Okay. So, oh, let's do this. That might collide. Then there's two ways I can run it. It's nice from an eye candy perspective. Oh, I didn't change this. This is fun. Oh, did that actually work? Let's try this again. That did work. That's almost scary. Okay, so... Huh. So now that I have that, let's do this. Okay, clipboard, date. I don't want these. How do I get... I don't want to ignore dynamic. But I set these here. Occurrences of query will be substituted with input. Substitute upstream variables using var name. Okay. So I don't want this here. Pass out query for the input. So I want slug to be query. I don't want this passed out. And I also don't need this here. Okay, so then this should be var slug, var slug, and this is var title. Is it gonna work? Var name? You're on it, Eric. Well, okay. All right. So it runs that. So it's running it, but it's not going to here, apparently. And I'm not making it to here. Because I think in this, like it's getting to this, and then I've got an output. What happens if I get rid of this? If I copy that, we'll see if this still works. The slug one. Nope. That doesn't work at all. Oh, it's because I changed this. I have to keep copying it because I keep forgetting if I have it where I want. All right, so that works. You want to learn? Holding Option while dragging a workflow object. It displays a grid that could help. What? Oh. That makes me so happy. You're the man. I copied into the clipboard. Need to return it. Oh, you mean here? Oh. Good catch. Didn't work though, because it's not getting that there. But is that because I got rid of this? Derek, you just made me so happy. The data analytics side? What are you trying to learn in data analytics? Just for fun? Yeah, because whenever I do that, it's taking over the clipboard. When I have this one in here. And I do run this one manually sometimes. You had to redeem yourself somehow. Oh, let's see. If it's gonna paste it in. So I'm saving this before I run that script. Okay. And when I'm done with that, I'm going into here. But I have that in the clipboard currently. So instead of that, what if we set this to the clipboard? Because that's what's coming out from the other one. And then I'm into here with those variables. Oh, actually, I should do this because it kind of drives me nuts when that happens. They analyze your schedules and how they change. Kind of sounds frustrating to me. Well, I suppose that probably means flight schedules, right? I don't know if this is going to change anything. No. It would paste the slug before. Yeah. I'm missing something. Because it's not pasting this. It's getting hung up. Average pay, flight time, start date, parity. So it's just a ton of stuff. Query is the input coming into this. And I'm setting that to slug. Should be okay. I think it's going to be somewhere here. So I'm telling it to run that trigger inside the workflow with the input that I'm giving it, which is the clipboard. Well, just for fun, let's make that go away. And I still don't get it. Okay. So let's see. What have I got down here? Let's clear it and run it. Just so we get a clean run here. All right, so processing output to arg and vars. Processing complete. Passes the output blank to the Apple script. Oh, I wonder if that's a problem. It doesn't look like it's passing anything to it. Okay, and then it's processing that, passing the output to there. Done, and then it goes to there. There. But it's showing that the output is empty. All right, let's clear this. I'm telling it to run from all workflows. That way, we'll see if I can get the info from the other one as well. Okay, so is it running it twice? Passing output. What is this? To transform. Something weird's going on here. Humble bundle. A bundle deal for data science. Oh. I think you can paste it without the HTTPS. Like there's some tricks. Like you could alter it so that it doesn't potentially show up. I think. Also, if anyone ever figures out how to override that, please tell me. I don't know how to do it. I haven't found the answer to that one yet. I suspect I've got an issue with using the clipboard here. Or something to do with triggering it. This is not using the clipboard at all. That's not either. That one is. Okay, let's try this. Let's try. Let's break this. Because whatever I pass into this. So I wonder if that's longer than 200 characters. I tried. I don't know how to help you. Is there a way to DM somebody on this? Doesn't look like I can put you in a timeout, Martin. That wouldn't be helpful, though. That's not what I want to do. Is there a way I can find it? Or a Google search that'll get me there? DM him on Twitter. There you go. Google it. Okay, so that's still there. This is getting to be too much to see. Oh, that's fun. I got it a whole bunch of times there. How did I get it a whole bunch of times? Okay. It's like embedded within itself. So do I actually... But I don't get the slug anywhere. Launch apps. Da 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 da. Okay, so what have I got going on here? So that's bringing the clipboard in and passing it into this, isn't it? No. No, 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 no. Title, I'm saving it here. But the argument, I'm not passing through anything. I'm not doing anything there. Still got the replicating thing. It's actually worse now. Fun. All right, let's see what we got going on. Why is that running? There's a hotkey. Oh, that's because I switched over to it. So, YAML blog. It triggered that. Yep, so it did that. Passing output. Wait, do I have that in my clipboard now? I think I got something weird going on here. Let's just make sure I've got a clean... Okay. I had like a clipboard thing going on. You would walk away for a while. Alfredception. So true. You guys are on it. Okay. So the clipboard is coming in as the title. I have that working correctly. The output here is not. Tell application to run in workflow with argument Q. I'm not getting the output from this. So let's just do this for fun. See what I get. Now that I know I was messing it up. But that would mean this would be in the clipboard. But it would also be passing it out. All right. Got another follower on Twitter. All right, so what did I have here? So I went here, and it passed that to, so it got the right thing here to go in. External, yep, it has the correct thing. It goes there. Processing was complete. It's passing the output, so it didn't make it out of the other script. That's what I thought. So what other output do I need? Oh, you can call an external trigger. Is there a way to tell this to pass it out too, other than just the clipboard? Maybe I don't even want that. You're up to 75? 75 followers? Oh, do. Well, if it's copying it to the clipboard at this point, you could do a game where here the slug would become the clipboard. What are the chances that works? Slim and none? Yep. Passed nothing there. Passed nothing to copy to clipboard. So it's running. Yeah, it didn't get anything to go there. Put it in a variable in the slug function. That's a good question. I don't know. It would be converted to a tab separated string. The input to be passed out unprocessed. Substitute upstream. That wouldn't mean across workflows, though. If I get rid of this, does it come in? I don't remember. Yeah. So I'm getting the clipboard through it now, but I have that in here. That would give me the input coming into it now. Oh, interesting. It gave me query. Through Swift Playgrounds curriculum? Did I not put this in? No, I didn't. Still nothing. So it's running that script. Wait a second. Once it's done with that, it goes straight to here, goes to argynvars, goes to clipboard, and then it comes back and runs the transform. How's it coming back to slug afterwards? I don't understand that one. Huh. I mean, the easy answer is I can copy the script and the transform piece to the other one. I mean, I could, but I'd like to reuse it in case I happen to rewrite this. I wonder if that's what the issue is. It's running this, but it doesn't go onto this until the other one is done. So when it gets here, it's only running that one piece. It's only running this. So that means whenever I'm doing this output, that's actually at the end. So I'm just going to put slug at the end of this one. This one can stay the same. Yeah. Or no. No. It did that. So I got it twice. So if you look at this, look down here. You see where it says snippets, YAML, blog, slug, blog, slug. It's like it's running it twice. Goes here, goes to the external, and runs that script. Then it comes back here, goes there, goes there, pastes it, and then it comes back here, passes the output to there, and then outputs it here. So, what's that mean? It means that well, something I could do. Well, that wouldn't work either. I was thinking I could move this to the other side. It would be fine. And then it would kick this out. But it doesn't let me get all of the stuff I want on the other one. I think I am just, I'm thinking about this backwards, I think. But I don't know how. Eat. Trigger eat in workflow. Oh, I wonder if, you know what? I have a duplicate. Now that I see that, this is duplicated because this is the name of the whole thing. What if I just call it slug with argument test? Okay. And then if I go here, I'm telling it to run the whole thing twice, I think. To run trigger slug in that with argument Q, okay. I wonder if that's what I'm doing. Nope. Yep, still runs it twice. Yep, that's trying to call it from there. Slug and YAML slug. Clipboard. What happens if I get rid of this? Oh no, I needed that. Because that's what it's passing into the other one. But when it comes back from this, it gives me nothing. Which is fascinating, given that it has a return function with input as argv, sequentially. Yep, needs to be sequential. Might have to call this one quits. I don't know the answer. From outside, call external trigger workflow, output object. Wait, the identifier to access this trigger from outside of Alfred using AppleScript, or from within Alfred using the call external trigger workflow output object. That's not what I'm using. Output object, call external trigger. The trigger or external workflow triggers. That one. Pass input as argument, pass variables. Okay. So I don't want that. But I can't do anything with it. Okay. Script filter. Well, that's what I was doing earlier. I was just running a straight up Apple script. Oh, Alfred. This is where you get so complex. There's so many different things you could do. Yeah, that's an output, though. That would be like sending it somewhere else. What happens if... Like, does it follow those? I don't think it will. It's going to send it to multiple places at one time. That's not what I want either. Maybe the answer is to just run the script in its own spot. Like, just duplicate it. I'll do some more research. If I get an answer, we'll come back to it next week. Okay? I gotta quit. I do. Thanks for sticking with me. But I feel like we learned a lot about Alfred today. But I gotta figure out how to nest things and how to get, like, send information to one of the other workflows and then get the information back. Like, that's the part that I need to nail down. And I haven't got that figured out. Even if you only partially understood it. I think I partially understood it. Fun times, though. Okay. What's coming up? What do I have? If you haven't already, like, subscribe. I would really appreciate that. Again, it helps me in the process of growing things, and I'm attempting to make it more of a big thing. I'm planning to push a little bit on coaching a little bit more. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Carol. I've done a few coaching calls lately and have found that, like, that kind of fits in really well with what I'm doing. So keep your eyes open for those. That page already exists and people have already used it. It's just not a super common thing that I talk about. So keep your eyes open for that. And Humble Bundle. Okay, I will do that. What else? Wednesday, we have an Analog Joe session. Do I have my thing for that? I think I do. Check out analogjoe.com if you're not already there. Would love to have you there. And it's a fun time. I think it's it'll be a good one. We're going to go through my backpack whenever we go through it on Wednesday, which will be a fun time as well. So I'm going to dive into my backpack, how I have it set up, what you should or shouldn't keep with you in your bag. So that's a thing we'll do. And then Friday, we have Bookworm, 1 o'clock. Super fun. So keep your eyes open for those. Yes, yes, yes. All right, team. Thanks again for joining me today. And I will see you again in the future. Bye, all.